Hi guys, welcome to Carmi's Cottage, and today I am going to be talking about the most important lesson I've learned this year that has been the most rewarding and freeing process and lesson in my whole entire lifetime. So basically this year I've learned how to let go of my need for certainty. And like a lot of others, I guess I grew up thinking that if I knew everything and that if I was perfect, then I'll be safe and everything in my life would go smoothly, amazing. I'd get everything I wanted. Growing up, I've always been the person who needed to know everything. I needed to know why things happened and the dynamic and the purpose and everything. I needed to know everything around it so I can gather as much information and I can see as many patterns so that I can feel like I can navigate and experiment and manipulate certain variables to get a certain outcome. And I discovered that honestly there's no guarantees in life whatsoever. You can do everything right, you can know everything, and life can still turn out a way that you least expected. And in the phase of my life where I tried to control everything, that was very frustrating because I'm like, why are my plans being foiled? Why is nothing working out? And that was the wrong perspective to look at that. What I should have been thinking is, this is an opportunity that's very freeing for me, that allows me to actually show up as myself and be vulnerable and basically to be surprised by life and where it takes me. So I will be talking about letting go of my need for control in this video, and I have a lot of notes, and just bear with me if it's not in the most chronological order, because I feel like the whole thing of letting go of control is tied into so many other things around it, and it's like once you tweak one thing here, one thing there, it all comes together as this complete thing, because there's so many facets to your life and how the need for control shows up. Okay, so anyway, so I started off by saying certainty and being perfect breeds safety, at least in theory, right? And to be perfect, you become concerned with how you should feel, how you should be, and how people perceive you, and thus you try to manipulate yourself, and you try to suppress your feelings, and you try to appear as something that you're not. And when you're not feeling what is stereotypical for whatever situation you're in, then you're looking at yourself like, what's wrong with me? And you have to come to terms with that's just not your reality. That is not how you feel. That's not the signals that your body is sending you in that situation. So yes, and basically it honestly isn't your right to control how other people view you. It's not your job to manipulate and restrict and constrain yourself. And quite frankly, that is very exhausting. And you're doing all of this, creating this type of experience at the expense of your authenticity and your own happiness. And you're trading that in for what everyone else thinks what you think everyone else thinks you should be. And that's just not worth it, because when things come crashing down, you are the only one that is experiencing the pain, the suffering, the reality, the sadness, the numbness. You're experiencing all the emotions that comes with it, not them. So if you're gonna experience everything, you should experience everything to the fullest, and you should be who you are to the fullest. In addition to it trying to control how others perceive us, we try to control our lives. As we know, we are not the sole authors of our lives. We're presented opportunities that give us the choice to go down two plus paths, and we choose whichever ones we want. However, life has its own plans. It gives us its own opportunities that it deems fit for us in that moment. And the way that we try to control our lives is by repeating and reenacting the same patterns of behaviors we have done before, because we know how everything will end up. Granted, nothing changes. Granted, the people we're interacting with, they never change, and the environment or the confinements and other variables never change. And what we're doing at that point is we're not allowing ourselves to grow. We're not allowing us to experience new realities. We're doing all of this at the expense of being surprised by what life has, and at the expense of not allowing ourselves to reach new levels of being loved and accepted and seen. And yeah, we're really robbing ourselves when we're out here and we're like trying to control everything. Quite frankly, it usually, in my experience, it usually comes crashing in its head, because you can't control everything, and life is not meant to be controlled, just as we as humans are not to be controlled. That's just how it is. Life is to be experienced, and if you love something, you will not try to corner it or control it. You will let it go freely, and you'd explain to it how certain things lead to other things, but that is not a 100% rule, And yeah, basically, to let go of our need for control and certainty, we need to understand that there are other ways in which we can feel safe. If we trust our own selves, and if we believe that no matter what we experience and what comes our way, that we'll be okay, you'll naturally feel safe. If you have your own support system, you'll feel safe, because there's people that you can confide in. There's people who will be there for you to support you if you need it. You'll have your own routines that you can fall into that allows you to feel stable and safe and secure, because okay, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I do my skincare routine, I listen to my music, I meditate. You have some type of control over those things that you do, and you feel capable and you feel productive, and you have your own hobbies. And you have your own hobbies, and it gives you a sense of pride, and achievement and enjoyment, and all of those things are wonderful. Those are things that you can control, and that provide safety and security and a nest for you. And to let go of your need of control, you also need to be vulnerable. You need to show up as you are. You need to stop judging yourself. You need to accept yourself for where you are, and you need to understand that you're not something that needs to be fixed. You're not a project. you're a person. You might have areas in your life that you need to work on, and it's important that you do not shame yourself, because shaming yourself only pushes you farther. The best thing to put in practice is to be like, okay, I did this thing that I'm not proud of, but this thing is not me, it's not my identity, and then you figure out why you done this thing, and are there alternatives to meet the need that this thing has given me, or do I just need to take a step back, go for a walk, journal, meditate, and basically, you don't shame yourself. You hold yourself accountable, and you plan on how you'll do better the next time the situation arrives, and you figure out what you need in that situation. Especially if it's a situation where you feel triggered, you need to come up with the trigger routine, things that you do in order to ground yourself and center yourself again. You need to be vulnerable. You need to feel how you feel. You need to be how you are. Get a baseline sense of who you are. And it is important that you live how you are. Because a lot of people in this lifetime will tell you that, oh, you need to do this, or you should do this. And the question you need to ask yourself is, who wrote these guidelines? Who wrote this life plan? Were they keeping you in mind? And if you write your own life plan, how would you plan it out to keep yourself in mind? It is important that you take a look and you ask yourself, who wrote the life plan for life? Who told you at this certain age you have to do this, or this certain age you have to do that? What time period were these things created, and do they account for how life is now? Do they account for you and your unique experiences and your wants and needs? Do they? Probably not. And I find that a lot of people that are telling you that you should do this and that, when you actually sit down and listen to their life stories, a lot of the times they do these things not out of want, but out of necessity for the time period in which they grew up and how society was at that time. We are so blessed to have opportunities and to not do a lot of things out of necessity as our previous generations had to do. Hi guys, welcome to Carmi's, and I was just coming on here to finish off the video because last time I kind of lost my train of thought. But basically what I was saying is, when you back up from life and you take a full view look at it, you have so many options, and life is like a blank canvas for real. Like, there's no one way to do something, or there's no way of living your life. So you should take the opportunity to figure out how you specifically want to live your life and how you would best enjoy life as it is. And I think that is a very freeing realization, and you can have that. You don't have to do anything specifically in life. You can live life as you see fit. You can make your own decisions. You can curate your own perspectives. There's so many different ways to live life nowadays, and you get to pick, literally. You get to design your own life, and that is a big responsibility, but at the same time, it is one of the most beautiful things you can do. And I just wish a lot of people will understand that you do not have to be stuck. You don't have to be stuck living your life as the previous generations have lived it. I think the biggest thing with that is just to understand how certain actions may lead to certain consequences, and choose your consequences. Choose what you'd like to live with and what you do not want to have in your life, and go from there. But basically, that is what I was saying. And I would like to also say that a lot of people who are telling you that you should do XYZ by this age or do this and that, a lot of the times the older generations aren't happy with how they live their life, because they didn't live their lives for their own selves. They lived their lives how their parents taught them, or how their parents wanted them to live, and that leads to a lot of regret. And I say all of this to say that you withholding yourself, or not showing up fully, or not being vulnerable, that is not gonna lessen the hurt emotions that you'll feel if things come to an end, or if you guys separate, or if things don't work out. So just like you experience the full weight of the pain that is going to come, savor the moments that you have now and fully be present, because when we try to hold ourselves back or not be fully present and vulnerable, that is a way for us to try to control the situation and be like, okay, I'm not showing up fully, so if things don't work out, it's because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. And by doing that, you're robbing everyone involved of actually seeing if whatever this thing is can progress and prove to be something special and valuable to everyone. And yeah, so my advice here is to just be yourself and to show up and be authentic and take a risk. If you think, oh, this is where my heart leads me and I might get hurt here, still do it. Still show up, because you do not determine the future. You do not know what's going to happen, and savor the moments that you have with whoever it is in question. And yeah, let go of your need for controlling things and having a hand in things, because trust me when I say you do not want to be the reason why something doesn't work out. You do not want to find yourself there, because the mere thought of, oh, what if this could have happened, or if that would have happened if I would have just done my part, is not a good thought or a feeling. And yeah, so all in all, let go, trust the process. Even if the process doesn't look like it's working, do what you know that you need to do and be vulnerable. Reach out to your support systems if you have them and if you need them, and if you don't have them and you need them, seek a therapist. Try to make new friends at the place where you go and do your hobbies, or find an online forum. Just reach out and make an effort to find people, and yeah, trust yourself, and you got this. And yeah, I hope you guys could follow my train of thought. And yeah, I would love to hear your perspective in the comment section, and I would love to know how you guys enjoyed it, any feedback, any things you want me to talk about. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely week, a lovely weekend, a lovely month, and I will see you guys when I see you. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.